Good afternoon, guys. It's Tuning Tuesday, Season 2, Episode 30, and we're all spinning today.
Spinny spinners. I quit spinning.
So, are we having audio issues already? Tell me we're not having audio issues. Okay, we're not having audio issues.
Nope.
Give me smiley faces and thumbs up if you can hear me okay.
Raise your hand if you're not here.
Yeah, winky faces if you really like what you see.
My teacher used to say that in school. He'd say, raise your hand if you're not here.
Oh, I
like,
thought you said
huh?
winky faces if you like what you see.
Sorry.
I don't think your teacher's supposed to say that.
It was a military school.
Oh, okay. Everyone's a team player.
Yes.
So, what should we talk about today?
I don't know, you guys should not have put a mobile object in front of me.
I know.
Sorry.
He's the king of fidget spinning.
Yes.
And now we have the world's most expensive fidget spinner sitting in front of you.
What are you talking about? VMP blowers are cheap and they work.
All I'm saying, in the grand scheme of fidget spinners, that's probably the most expensive fidget spinner in the world. Although
true.
I'm sure there's something probably made of an unobtainium metal with ceramic bearings that's more expensive. But, yeah, so come at us with tuning questions and
Come at me, bro.
stuff of good caliber, fun facts, I don't know.
Fun facts.
I'll start reading off some of the things that we have here.
We had what did we have last week? We had the idea of asking them questions to see how fast they
That
could
was the
come
week
up.
before last week.
No,
Even
we were going to
before
ask
that.
them a question and they had to tell us the answer.
Oh, ooh.
Um,
What is the stoic point for E85?
Who can Google the fastest?
Bum, bum, bum.
Ba-ba-ba.
Nobody in this room is allowed to answer it.
So, let's do some shout outs real quick. So, Cameron Maurer says first, but be right back, need some food.
Cameron, I need the phonetic spelling of your last name.
It's M-A-U-R-E-R.
Not the actual spelling, I need the phonetic spelling.
Yeah, well, it's...
Or more accurately, maybe not me, maybe Carrie. I don't know if the way that I say it's correct.
How do you say it?
Moyer.
Moyer?
Yep.
Okay. Moyer, like Moyer.
Well, I don't know if that's correct. So that's why we need the phonetic spelling.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure I could goggle it. And it would probably give it.
And goggle it?
That's what my mother calls it, goggle.
Oh, God.
I know.
Please include the phonetic spellings of your usernames so that we can make sure we get them right.
Eric Garcia says top of the muffin to y'all.
I like it. I like muffins.
Jay in Texas says Taco Tuesday.
We did do Taco Tuesday.
Eric Garcia wants to know how many episodes are in a
damn it.
season.
Chris is taking my toy away. You're a bad person, Chris.
You're being punished.
God damn it. Nothing. I'm gonna play with Joe.
Wait a minute.
So correct. An episode or a season is January through December. Keep in mind did we miss any this year at all?
I think we missed one. Was it 4th of July?
I was going to say, keep in mind that on holidays, if we fall on a holiday, we will not have one. So, figure there's probably going to be about 50 approximately in a season.
If you're watching from outside of the United States, give us a thumbs up. Share us with your foreign friends.
Also, school started this week, so it's our first week without Aiden watching.
Joke's on you, he's still watching.
In class?
Exactly. Look, guys, we're going to learn stuff.
Jay in Texas says, I gave them 2 weeks off for the holidays. And Brian T says, I think this is one of their 2 weeks. Apparently, we're a couple minutes late. They said there's always the late lunch back from lunch. Being late is the wrong type of consistency. They said they're on time when compared to my doctor.
70% of the time, we're here on time, every time.
Name taker says, what up?
Thank you.
D-Man says, I'm here for the free tunes.
Those come from Joe, but only after 9 o'clock at night.
Damn it.
Brian, here's a question. Brian T says, hello, Team VMP.
Hello.
My question is, can an ASE certified mechanic install a Ford Performance Power Pack Level 2 to retain a factory warranty, or is it required for a Ford ASE certified tech to install it?
I think it has to be a Ford-approved dealer.
Pretty sure. Which
I'm
is
pretty sure
it is kind of stupid in on itself because
but-
I've known lots of people that do better installs than the dealer.
Mhm.
But
But I want to say it has to be a Ford approved.
I think so,
Ford
too.
approved installer.
I think you are correct.
But if you want a more accurate answer to that, you may want to just read the warranty document, because I assume
You
that's
know that
outlined
legal
in there.
jargon that you just scroll to the bottom, you hit accept.
What do you mean you just hit accept? You didn't read the fine print? Human centipede for South Park, for those that don't know.
So how do you say Cameron's last name?
Moyer.
Moyer. So we're both kind of wrong.
Oh.
It's mower, like a cow.
Okay.
Mower?
Cow, mower,
Mower?
Meower?
Like that's a cat.
mower.
Like Super Troopers? Meow?
He says mow, like cow.
Mm-hmm.
Then
So that's moo like cow.
Oh, moo.
No, mow, M-O-W.
I think what he's trying to say the phonetic
Mow
spelling
like
of
cow,
moo.
then mow-er.
Mow like cow, like how you pronounce
Right,
it.
mow. I
Yeah.
think it's mow-er.
Okay.
Okay, so
Can we call you Steve?
Mower.
I'm just going to call you Cameron.
You got it. Melvin says, hi, Team VMP, all good here. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Cameron says, good Lord, that case is huge. Yeah, the case is now gone.
And we were just talking about Chris and I were friends because of Chucky, and now we're not friends because of Chucky. Kind
Yeah.
Slab Shack says, oh man, they synced up today. Tony says you should talk about the 18 plus blower.
I feel like if you want 18 up blower stuff, just to know that the information that you're getting is the information that you're supposed to be getting, I'd hang out for Burnout Box on Thursdays and ask Justin, because he will tell you what he's willing to tell people. I know stuff, but I don't know if I'm allowed to publicly know stuff, so
Right. There's that.
yeah.
Hey guys, having my 6 already rebuilt with stage to clutch is an intermediate shaft. Will I need to be retuned to adjust for the fresh transmission? 6R80.
Technically, no. Starting it up and running it, you should just be fine. But if in previous tuning of the car, someone was trying to compensate for something that was slip in the transmission,
Yeah.
and you no longer have slip, it'll probably short shift a little bit. So
And then other times, occasionally, when you, depending on how the transmission tune was originally set up, is occasionally you're going to higher torque capacity clutches and more of them, so the transmission might shift a little firm to your liking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to hurt anything. It's more of a personal preference. You might want to soften it up when you're at part throttle kind of deal. It's personal preference. But as far as if it's going to hurt anything or do you need it to have a tune, no. You'll be
yeah, it'll
fine.
learn most of the closed loop stuff it needs to learn
Yep.
just in the initial drive,
Is there much
especially
power?
after cam reset.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
You're good.
Is there much power to gain in a stock Gen 1 if I get a tune and 18 intake? 91 octane is the best available.
There's a
course.
lot of power above 7,000 RPM to be had going to an 18 intake manifold.
Yep.
Truth. If you're only going to rev it to 5,500, then maybe it's not a good intake for you. But if you're not afraid of engine speed, then
But
go
the
for
tune
it.
will help too.
Yeah, true story.
You can let one of our fine calibrators assist you
I feel like we
with
need
making
like
your driving experience better.
some sensual jazz music playing as you say that.
Will you ever make will you ever make a jacket for Joe with a picture of oil pump gears on it?
His
I don't
birthday
know,
is coming
maybe.
up. When's your birthday?
Or how
January.
about
January.
an oil pump gear fidget spinner?
No, that's an idea
Oil
right there.
pump. God, you'd kill me. Oh.
Only
That's
if-
all you guys would hear in the tuning room.
Only
is-
if you spin it too fast and it flies into 1,000 pieces.
I've dropped them and they've shattered.
Well, because that's what they do inside the engine.
I'm just saying. I want to make a fidget spinner chain.
Hello, y'all from Canada, eh?
Eh? Maple syrup, eh?
Yours your party papers.
I wonder if they get tired of that. They're like, ha ha, maple syrup.
But it is good though.
It is delicious.
Topper Harley says, what are your thoughts on the new class action on the new 10R80 that claims you can get whiplash in the F-150 EcoBoost on shifting?
Whiplash. I've never heard of anyone getting whiplash in an EcoBoost
I have
truck.
no idea. I am intrigued. I don't know what this is. I have to look at it.
Need to look it up.
Chris, look that up.
Jansen50 says Chucky for the win.
Yay, I hate that car.
Horse GT says, how's it going, y'all? Still waiting on the release of the Ghost blower tunes.
My man.
We're in development right now.
Development on Ghost Blower.
Yep.
Comes with a...
I had a blower here, and now it's gone, so that was my Ghost blower.
It has an idler that mounts on the belt drive system that just spins but doesn't actually spin anything.
That's like Dodge's
So
e-torque.
Cameron came back and says the trans downshifts into first from any gear, hence whiplash if you're going 70.
So they didn't learn their lesson on the 6R80 and they did the same damn thing to the 10R80? Is that what you're telling me? Like,
Yep.
hey, we broke it really bad the first time, let's not learn anything and do it again.
Apparently.
Because that's what the 6R80... Because I was working at PowerTech at the time, and that was when they basically issued that recall. And pretty much every vehicle on the planet that got a 6R80 got a calibration update. Mm-hmm. And yours truly had to sit there and do every single one of them.
That's not fun.
So, yeah, it was new templates, new Cantunes, everything. It was a nightmare.
D-Man wants to know, when's your truck getting a 3R, Joe?
When I need it.
You do need it.
Everybody needs it.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not even really pushing the Gen 3 the way that it sits. So probably get a Gen 3R when I put a built motor in.
I have a 16 crate motor from Ford in my 01 New Edge.
Nice.
How much power am I looking at with 93 octane, with a 93 tune, sorry. Mods are BBK, long tubes, X-pipe, and Borla catback, JLT intake. How much power am I honestly looking at?
And I assume if it's manual trans, you're at sea level, it's on a dyno jet, and you're measuring it in fourth gear with a transmission that's 1-to-1, probably 415 to 425 wheel.
I was going to say...
Depending on whether or not you have false knock.
Yeah, I would say most of the swap cars that I dynoed with pretty much same the BBK. Like I did like 3 New Edge swaps over at the other shop, and I think we were all in the 400-ish range, and that was untuned. So yeah, probably 410, 415, yeah.
Yep. Send it.
Is it important doing a cam reset switching tunes?
No.
No.
A lot of the time, switching the tune will do a cam reset in and of itself.
Yeah, a lot of your major programmers are going to, as part of the, when it gets done flashing, it does a cam reset anyway, because you generate, just through the tuning process, you generate codes in on itself, and so it usually does a cam reset for you to make sure you don't have a check engine light after flashing the car.
The D-Animal says, hello everyone, how are you today?
Hola.
Ron Seeley says, I have a supercharged 5-liter with a 93 performance tune. What kind of horsepower increase do you think I should see with an upgraded fuel system? ID 1050 injectors, E85 tune, and long tube headers.
It depends on how much timing it's currently running at the boost you're running.
Yeah, I've had cars pick up 100 to the wheel,
I've
switching
had
from
cars
pump
that
to
pick up 60
85.
to the wheel.
Yeah, and then I've had cars that only picked up 20.
Mm-hmm.
So it really kind of depends on how terrible your fuel was to begin with.
And how much boost you're running. If you're trying to run, if you're only running 8 to 10 pounds, you're probably
Yeah.
close to MBT anyways.
Correct.
If you're trying to run 14 pounds at 93 and they're pulling timing out, going to E85 is going to be a substantial gain, but there's no good rule of thumb for that. It's highly case dependent on what you're currently running versus what you have the potential to run.
Kind of like that Gen 3, I was doing that Gen 3 this morning, remote tune, and the guy's seeing 19.5 degrees of timing on 93. You put
Yeah.
85 and it's only going to go to like 21.
Yeah.
So, well, at that point in time, you're only gaining the cooling.
Yeah.
Do you guys still make Gen 1 and Gen 2 superchargers?
We make Gen 2 Rs, that's it.
Arr.
Arg.
The Gen 2 Pirates.
We got a bunch of pirates in here today. how does the VMP Icebox install? How does the VMP Icebox install does not interfere or alters the mass signal incoming air? I asked because the air filter is no longer shielding it and not getting fresh air from the outside. Thanks.
I haven't seen any issues with the installation of the VMP Icebox in relation to airflow stability.
Is he talking about removing the shield around the air filter?
Yeah, it'd be like an 11 to 14 car, and even then you can always cut the shield to fit the Icebox.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any difference.
Yeah.
Cameron Mauer says, cow, Mao. I can sell someone a Gen 1 for the right price.
So for those that are interested, he has an 03 Cobra supercharger Gen 1 TVS. So if you're looking for that, hit him up.
Slide in MDMs. Tell him what's up.
Slide into something.
Oh,
Redline Riot says, Justin told me to ask Joe when the Ghost Cam tune will be available.
Bruh! I know that Justin didn't tell you to ask me that. Justin would just ask me that.
Joe, could we tune rev matching on a 17 like the 18 plus cars?
He's talking about on a 17 manual car?
So they already do that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you have the potential to. The Ford Racing Performance Cal has the ability to do rev match downshift. I've never tried to get it to do it on a 15 to 17.
You say the logic's there. I've never played, but usually people want it turned off.
He says
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, you're right. Usually people want it turned off.
The logic's there. I suppose it could be messed with. Joe will do it.
Man!
Do you have much experience on Cook's short tube headers on a Gen 1? Any power gains?
Don't waste your money on short tube headers.
That's pretty much always been that way, even back in the Fox body days. Like way back in the Fox body days, it was the same amount of work for half the gains. So just put long tubes on it.
Or don't touch it.
Or just don't touch it. There's that too.
No touchy.
The Redline Riot came back and he said, he told me to ask you on Burnout Box when I asked him when it would be available.
Soon, hopefully. All dependent on the amount of time I spend not doing stuff like this to get it done.
Hey now.
What's the difference and power difference between a Gen 2 VMP and Gen 2R?
Ooh, I don't know that one. I don't remember.
I don't know. We probably have 6 articles on the internet about it. It's probably 10 to 15 horsepower on low boost setups, and then more as you go higher in boost.
Dalton says, I've deleted the evap line on my S197 with my 18 intake. How do I get the cells to stop?
Oh, check engine lights.
You put it back on.
Or I just turn it off. But we're not supposed to turn it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't turn it off.
No.
Put it back on. There's no reason to delete it.
Or just plug it in.
Even then, it'll vent when you don't want it to, and then it'll do like I want to say it'd be a code for excessive flow.
I'll message you later, Dalton.
Send nudes.
When data logging naturally aspirated cars, did the math pounds per minute equate to crank horsepower?
No.
I have an 11 GT with 18 Manny, 91 octane with Boostane, and a PMOS cold air, doing 44 pounds per minute. So am I only pushing 440 to the crank?
Do me a favor. Stop looking at pounds a minute.
Yeah, I remember that was a whole big thing. Mustang 6G forum went down that path a long time or a while ago, where they were even the Pro Charger cars. With the keep in mind the math is in the intercooler, and they were trying to like, well, I used to flow 80 pounds per minute, and now I flow 82 pounds per minute, so I'm always making more power. I can make you flow
whatever pounds a minute you want on that mass airflow sensor.
Travis Dean is on the line. Says, "Look at that beautiful beard. Hope all the peeps are doing well."
Appreciate it.
Dalton came back and says, "I will rebel."
Then you will get check engine lights for your rebellion. Consequences.
I will say this. We should probably mention that if you have an accurate pounds per minute airflow, you could calculate horsepower. If you also had a fuel flow, if you had a pounds per minute of airflow and a pounds per minute of fuel flow, you could.
Not necessarily.
There's too many things to variable. That's the problem.
I was going to say timing.
Yeah, there's too many other variables.
You can say I'm flowing X amount of airflow pounds a minute, but if you're at 6 degrees of timing, you're
Correct.
not making anywhere near the horsepower
Well,
you
at
think you are.
MPT, of course. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're correct. I was saying there's other variables that affect it, but it could give you
It has
a
the
ballpark.
potential to. In 90% of cases, it is not a direct reflection of horsepower.
Correct. And the thing is, it's too easy to manipulate as well.
Yeah, or manipulate incorrectly, especially when people use the wrong injector data with the correct math, and they skew the math,
Are you
or they skew
implying
the
that-
fuel oil pressure transfer function, or just
Are you
all
implying
around
that
do
people would
hack
enter
ass
wrong
shit?
injector data? Shame on you. That never happens.
That never ever happens.
Never. Okay.
Wee.
Never.
Never.
Thoughts on CJ Manny in an 1019 GT, in A10 G19 GT with E85, set shift points to 7600 or all the way up to 8K?
I think if you're not shifting at 8K with a CJ, you're an idiot.
Yep. AK. All of it. AK,
No
all the
offense.
things. That can be your license plate. AK.
Let's see here. You had talked about a couple weeks ago a 2-valve 90s Fox being at 33 or 34 advanced above 3000, being where the timing would be. Is that about as far as you would push it on an NA setup?
One more time. Is this push rod engine we're talking about?
He's talking about 2-valve push rod, 5-liter.
5-liter push rod. Well, I heard 2 valves, so I was thinking
Yeah.
4.6. So yeah, I've never seen one make power past, no matter what you do to it, I've never seen one make power past 34. If you get a really terrible head on it, 36. Keep in mind, the more efficient a cylinder head is, the less ignition lead it needs to make the power. So when you get into terrible combustion chamber designs like factory small block Chevy head, for example, they'll take 36. But I've never seen a Ford make any measurable power past 34, almost regardless of what head is put on it, naturally aspirated, and whatever fuel's on it too.
He said, just answered the question, thanks.
Cool.
Sweet.
Travis says resistance is futile. Feel like
What is
Yoda.
the pirate motto?
That's it. I thought it was resistance is futile.
No, beatings will continue until morale improves.
Oh yeah. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Curious, how do you guys think an 18 GT intake manifold would affect a Voodoo engine? Would it lose its 7,500 plus RPM performance versus the original intake manifold?
I think swapping the GT350 manifold to anything other than a Cobra Jet is stupid.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty much
conversation.
identical manifolds.
Yeah.
I mean, they've pretty much proven that they're a sister or whatever to the GT350 to begin with. So it's almost the same manifold. So I don't think there'll be any measurable difference whatsoever. If anything, it might go down because it's the way it is. But I don't think there'll be any measurable difference.
And then,
And then?
No, and then.
No, and then.
people are asking, Siley twin cup system, is it any good?
Gets the job done to about 800 wheel in a blower car, and then pressure stops dropping, or starts dropping.
Correct. They work perfectly fine for their intended use.
Can I use a 15% lower pulley on a Gen 3R on a stock 11 GT with 93? If I use the 88 upper, I will do a short block in the future.
What lower did he say? 5% or 15%?
15% lower.
I wouldn't advise that you do that on 93 octane with a Gen 3 blower, especially with an
Gen
88 millimeter.
3R.
Same applies.
Okay.
So much boostices. All them pressures,
All the pressure.
all the bar.
Many bars. Spitting mad fire.
Do I need a return style fuel system on a 14 GT with a Gen 2R? I plan on running E85 and staying around 650 to 700 to the wheel.
I would
I
recommend.
think you have to run super low boost to stay around 650, 700 wheel with a manual car. But
Yeah.
I'd recommend a return fuel system, yes.
Pretty much the stock pump with a booster pump will do high 600s on E. But the problem is it's not. It's for how long?
You have to compensate for pressure dropping, and
Yeah.
then you have to try and forecast how much pressure is going to drop over the next reasonable amount of mileage.
Correct.
Hey guys, I have a 16 GT PP, twin 60 throttle body, 82 millimeter pulley, Cook headers, no cats. 93 tune, looking to upgrade throttle body and a larger cold air. What do you recommend?
JLT 125, a PMOS 120, and a twin 67, twin 69, 137, or a 163R. Any of those.
Tell you, I need my sign. Just hold it up on a stick.
I'm with stupid.
Yes.
Any build options / companies doing 10R80 kits other than just clutches? Thank you, Jeff.
No, I'm pretty
Not
sure
that I'm aware
clutches
of.
are all that there is right now, and I've seen quite a bit of power being put down through them. So necessity is the mother of all invention. So if nobody's breaking it, there's no push to fix it.
Turbo Cat Siley twin only good for 800. What's triple SLR kit good to?
Don't know. Depends on what pumps you put in it. If you pack that triple kit with 320s, probably not all that great.
Yeah,
I can tell you that our twin pump kit with 465s held, what was it, 1141 wheel or whatever
on
the
track
hell it was.
attack, yeah.
I don't remember what it was anymore. But yeah, we made a bunch of power with ours.
Over 11.
Held fuel pressure just fine.
Yep. And we were watching it too.
And easy to wire in.
Yes. And easy to wire in.
Why no 2650 for the GT350?
I don't know what that is.
GT350. No, he's saying why no blower for the GT350, but
He said
it will fit.
I thought it was WINEO, wino.
Oh.
WHY space NO.
Why no?
Yeah.
WHYNO 2650 for the GT350.
Why you no buy our blower and put it on your GT350?
Yeah, it'll fit.
How about that?
It'll fit. And we'll tune it. So what?
Yeah, you want
So
the
what
blower
now?
so bad, just go pick up the blower, put it on your car. Stop crying. Why are you crying?
Do it. Call to
that
sales.
video?
Call to sales. They'll
Come
sell
on,
it to
guys,
you.
you got this. The Ekbach 1.
I got a case right there. Chris took it from me.
My case.
I seen it. You stole it from him.
Rock, paper, scissors for it.
I seen it.
Don't turn that. That's just me.
what-
If you're turning it, I can't.
What can the Boss rev to with a tune? It's a 7500, which I know is the knock limiter. It's at 7500. Should I raise it to 8K?
Why not? Party.
You could. Power's pretty flat up there, though, and actually starts trending downward up there, so...
With the stock intake manifold,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So, you could. It's not gonna hurt it. It'll do it.
Send it.
Will the Gen 3 fit with the lower manifold on a 5-liter?
The Gen 3 does fit on the lower manifold of the 5-liter.
On a 350?
Yep.
Yeah, probably just pick a, whatchamacallit, a 15-17 kit, and then if it hits your hood, just cut a hole in your hood like everyone else does.
Or you can put a hood on it.
Or you can put drop lowering mounts in. Or engine lowering mounts.
18 F-150 intake manifold on a Gen 1 F-150. Any data or experience? Just looking for more torque and possibly fuel mileage.
Get out of here with your torque. I
don't
hate
know.
that.
I've never tried it. It could.
Yeah.
Well, he does have a truck. He does have a truck, so just saying.
Yeah, the Mustang manifolds make more power on the trucks, period.
Yeah, but an 18 truck on basically a Gen 3 truck on a Gen 1 truck would be interesting. I bet it would improve
I don't
something.
see any reason why it would drop anywhere.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
bet it would help at least some.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to make a manifold that goes backwards.
Mm-mm.
So, try it. Let us know.
Have fun.
Try it, let us know.
Yep.
The way you guys drop, and then
And
you
then
should be doing Tuning Tuesday while eating Chinese carryout.
But that's
it would have to be on a
racist.
different day. It would have to be on like Wednesday, maybe even Friday. Friday night Chinese.
Chinese Fridays.
Mondays?
Yeah, something like that.
I do statistically go on a Chinese on Friday more than any other day.
Yeah.
I go all the way to Sanford because I go to
Actually,
the Ichigo buffet in Sanford.
Mm-hmm.
This is so good.
So
Where's
if you want to
that?
know where Matt is on a Friday or
Yeah,
Saturday,
place
just go
is
to
so good.
Ichigo
We
Buffet
were
in
there.
Sanford.
We were there when we go. Oh, Saturday we went there. What's that, Brian?
You and your giant swords.
Should I port my Boss manifold My buddy said he'd do it for free since he ports a lot of 18 manifolds and bosses ones
Nah.
as a side
If
job.
your buddy's porting it by hand, don't bother.
Yeah, it's not. You're not. But it's free. It's just not. I don't think it's going to do anything.
Well, what if he adversely affects the cylinder to cylinder airflow balance by doing an inconsistent port cylinder to cylinder, and then he has a
Then he
cylinder
needs
that's running
different
8%
friends.
lean.
I don't know.
And then
Hey, let's
No,
see
Dan.
here.
no more and Dan.
While running Watt, how much is too much knock? Thanks.
As much as the knock sensor is not able to pull.
Jesus Christ.
Matt is taking about burn rate / speed of flame propagation.
Correct.
Yep.
That is exactly what I was talking about. An inefficient cylinder head means that you need more ignition lead to get the burn.
So a slow burn head versus a fast burn head.
Correct. That's why you use like a 4-valve head with a centrally mounted spark plug. The most you're ever going to see it really use is 26, 27, 28, somewhere in that area, versus a conventional headed old pushrod motor is going to need 34 or 36.
What that kidney port do, bruh?
And
I
then
got
there's,
all my quench.
wait, but then there's flathead. Then there's flathead tuning where those things don't take any timing at all, just because it's got the strangest cylinder head on the planet, and they don't like ignition lead at all. But that's for different reasons. That's because they'll knock if you look at them wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Will Ford Racing manual wiring harness work on a 16 Coyote block with GT350 heads? Are there any differences in a GT and GT350 wiring harnesses in general?
There's a pretty big difference in GT and GT350 wiring harnesses.
yeah, plus the camshafts.
Mm-hmm.
So, will a Gen 2 control pack run it?
Gen 2 control pack run what?
A
The
GT350
5-liter
head
GT350 heads?
and
yes.
cams. Yeah, I thought it would. So you'll need the Gen 2 control pack
Mm-hmm.
to go with your harness. But it
True
might
story.
work.
And then you got to make sure the coils that you have match the coil connectors that are on the control pack harness.
Yep, because the firing order is different.
No, I'm saying from the standpoint of like some of the newer Coyotes, like in 2017, got a different connector on the coil pack than the like 16 and down.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you got to look at the connectors for the camshaft actuators that you have and confirm it isn't the new connector versus old connector shit.
Yep.
What is your preferred two-step for a Coyote? I like the plug and play of the MSD, but I've heard bad things.
N2MB, swerve away from the MSD.
But
Yeah.
I've heard bad things about them.
Yeah. See, so here's the catch: the MSD.
I've never heard of an N2MB failing.
Right.
Fight me.
I'm gonna. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. I like that the MSD does the round robin. I really like that versus a hard ignition cut. It's more of a softer limit, but there's like I don't know, like a 50% failure rate out of them.
Yeah.
Like I personally I think I've had to change out 4 of them on customers.
Sounds
'cause they
about right
just-
for me too.
All of a sudden you have a misfire and it's one of the drivers is dead.
Yeah.
Then the N2MB works well. However, I personally ran into issues with the N2MB at super high RPM one time, and I had to bypass it to fix it. So I think that there is it's not a very robust circuit in the N2MB. So for higher, it's each one has its little advantages. If
What
I
if
had
it's
to pick
processing
one,
filters at high RPM?
how does that? You'd have to talk to Max. I'd have to have you talk to Max. He'll explain everything. Max knows. He's one of those people. He starts talking about electronics, and I just go stupid because he's
Your
like
eyes
way
glaze
above.
over and you start
Yeah,
drooling?
you start glazing over for sure. Max is an electronics genius, and he's had them both apart, and he'll ex-engineering Max, and he'll tell you all and this thing and that thing,
And then my eyes will glaze over
Yes.
and I'll be like, oh, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So he's got the explanation of both. That being said, the very short answer is I like the N2MB better. So there. That was the really long answer.
The round robin?
I'm just saying nothing's perfect.
Cameron came back and said MSD crap left me stranded a few times back in the day.
Good old 6ALs, boy. Used to have carry an extra one in the glove box.
And
That's
then
like cam sensors on the 7.3s.
And then Ford Tech says, ouch, bashing MSD.
Not bashing.
I wouldn't say bashing.
I'm not bashing.
They make a lot of good products. That's just not one of them.
And I said I liked certain things that it did. I'm also saying that they're not very robust. I have
kinda
had
hard
to
to-
replace them.
It's kind of hard to be behind a product that has a lot of failure rates that it
Yes.
cause people problems.
Exactly. Been there,
Yeah.
done that.
Sorry, not sorry.
Johnson 50 says Gen 1 F-150 intake cams don't rev.
No.
No.
Ford Tech wants to know where's the big boss. Justin's working.
Yep.
Yeah, he's doing boss things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
He was
a
messing
boss.
around with SolidWorks
Doing
earlier.
boss things. Tuesdays are Tuning Tuesdays with Joe and Matt.
Yeah. So-
Look at me. I am the captain.
Thursday, the big boss will be on. Dale says, hi guys.
Hi, Dale.
Hello. Hi, Dale. Where's Chip?
Would you do OPG's CS along with CJ Manning as insurance to go along with the Auto 10 SP shift points being set to 8K?
Sure.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
You will never hurt it by installing oil pump gears.
Don't say that. I've seen people
Well, if you screw up
tear
the
stuff apart
install,
badly. Yeah.
if you screw up the install.
AC, who was asking about the fuel system earlier, says the VMP plug-and-play fuel kit looks good.
Yes.
It is.
For the price, he says, what's the main difference from SLR is WB 465 instead of GT 500?
And a billet hat instead of a plastic one.
Correct.
And stainless braided hose instead of push lock.
Yep. And it is more plug and play. It's easier to wire.
Yep, it's easier to wire.
I like that kit. That was kind of like all of our brainchild. We all sat down there and said, how do we make this thing awesome? And that's what
And
we
then
came up with.
Boom, it's awesome now.
Yes. I liked it.
And we have a check valve and a filter.
Yeah.
It's not set to wire to drain your battery. We don't recommend that you wire it to drain your battery.
There's that. And if you're in an accident, it'll shut off.
Yep.
All good things.
All the factory control stuff that Ford set up stuff to work that way for a reason. We
He
left it all
says,
intact.
thank you for fuel system answer. Thumbs up.
No problem.
Problem. We got you, fam. That's all the cool kids are
Weird
saying.
question, but any suggestions on coil overs for 17 GT? I don't want a lot of drop.
Roush coilovers.
Road race or drag race?
Both.
Does P219A Bank 1 air fuel ratio imbalance damage an engine?
No.
I've seen that many times.
I keep getting this code from my tune from another company. No power loss while on time, just this code. Thanks for the help.
What vehicle was this? You said it
I
was
think
a
you
truck.
said 17.
I had a lot of, for whatever reason, it seemed like the trucks do it more than anything. I've had a ton of
They
trucks
must
do
have
it.
tighter entry criteria for P219A.
It seems like I've had a bunch of ProCharger F-150s do that to me, that I just, no rhyme, no reason, and I never actually witness an imbalance. That's the catch.
Yeah.
I'll drive the
it's
thing around an hour and I never actually see an
It'll
imbalance.
be within 2.5% plus or minus on both banks. And
Right,
it's like,
and it'll still throw a damn
what is the
imbalance code.
imbalance?
Right. So that being said, it won't harm it, no. Unless it's a huge difference. Log it. I mean, if you see a 15% or
Bank to
20%
bank.
difference from one
But even
bank
then,
to the
as
other.
long as you're doing everything right in the tune, you can't get a 15% bank to bank unless there's a problem with the injectors.
That's what I'm getting
or
at.
the way
I'm
it's
saying
flowing
if he
air.
sees an actual imbalance that is
Yeah.
very dramatic, you might have a mechanical issue going on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you witness that everything is within a couple percent from one bank to the other, shut the code off.
Yep. Nothing to see here.
Yep, move along.
11 to 14. How much horsepower can bottom end handle with supercharger?
7.
As much as it handles until it breaks.
650 to 7.
Whee!
I just had one of my customers that I tuned his car. He's got an on-3 single, E85. Tuned that car 3 years ago. And when I say he beats his car, that's an understatement.
Beats it like a
Like,
redheaded
he
stepchild.
just beats the hell out of this car on a daily basis. And it made 700 for 3 years of him beating it to death. And then he sent me a video yesterday where it was puffing out of the valve cover. And he's like, I did 340 to 140 pulls in a row, and now it's puffing. I'm like, well, it's finally done.
It finally let
We're
go.
done here.
It finally popped a ringland.
So, I mean, it held up for 3 years at 700 on good fuel, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's the catch. So, yeah.
So if you have a good head, then on a push rod 5 liter, you could reduce timing and make more power. Am I understanding you correctly?
Or even the same power at reduced timing.
Yeah, correct. Even still, just because of the fact of the chambers all relatively the same on a push rod 5-liter engine, because they've got to have the plugs on the sides of the head, they've got to have the exhaust ports in the same spot as everyone else, so you're limited to what you can do with a chamber. So they're all going to take 32 to 34 degrees, no matter what. But certain ones will make more power at the same timing. So I think the lowest one I've ever seen was 32, but that was more of a high compression engine kind of deal. Because again, compression is also increasing the efficiency as well.
Bum, 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 bum.
What are the best? Oh, sorry.
I would say you're not going to run a push leader or push rod
leader?
5-liter head that takes like 26. That's not going to happen. They're all going to take at least 30. So naturally aspirated.
He says, okay, thank you for the info. What's the best first mods for an 11 GT500?
Tune,
Yeah, tune.
cold air intake. Unless you're
Well,
going
even
straight
then,
to a
the
blower.
stock cold air is fine,
Yeah.
especially in 11 to 14. I'd say pulley, tune, and then eventually cold air when you take it up to that level.
Mm-hmm.
A whole new level by Pantera.
Mm. Yes, yes.
Should I start recording your takeout habits and your dyno results for the cars you each are tuning?
It helps.
Are you trying to
He
draw
said-
conclusive data based
he
on what
says-
we eat versus what cars make?
He says, we could then run analytics on who yields the most power based on your food category's consumption habits. Sincerely, Matt's
I like it.
favorite data.
I love this guy. So then I wonder if he knows about I stumbled upon this website the other day, and it was like useless things that trend each other or something like that. And because they were trying to show how like the news tries to make like
Has to draw
they draw conclusions based on data. So there's like this website, it's this whole compiled thing of line graphs, then they're completely unrelated and useless things that happen to follow the exact same trends with each other. And I sat there and laughed because one of them, it was like the amount of carryout a person eats versus the age of rhinoceroses. And they have the same trend.
Oh man.
Go look that website up. You see, it's really
I feel
funny.
like they should have a portion of that website that's dedicated to crazy girlfriends and boyfriends who draw inaccurate conclusions based on inconclusive data.
Correct. Well, I mean, there was like thousands of line graphs, and they were just so off the wall. I was laughing at these things, and it's like I said, it's data. It's unrelated data that follow the same trends and is completely worthless. But to show that you can make anything follow anything if you look hard enough was what they were trying to demonstrate. So look it up. It's funny. I laughed for a while. He would appreciate that.
I like it.
Nothing says, so everyone eat XYZ food, get it tuned by VMP, and your car will get the most sauce.
Exactly.
Pun fully intended.
There you go.
I like it. I like it.
Like for example, Joe tunes better loaded up with Promised Land.
See?
Are boundary OPGs any good?
Yes.
Seem to work just fine for everything we've used them in.
Yep. Ours are good too.
We have, I was just going to say, ours are good too, and we have a lifetime warranty, I believe, on them.
Parts only, not labor. Sorry. We are not fixing it.
Does TVS need to come out with a 3650 to support Hellcats and Demons aiming for 1300 plus to the wheel?
Does TPS need to come out with a 3650?
Yeah, that's what I heard. So it's funny, we were having this
That's what it
exact
is.
conversation.
Is he saying TPS as in the company, or is he
No,
talking
TVS.
Okay.
Basically, he's saying
But
that they need to
TVS
come up
is
with a
a
bigger
company.
rotor pack for the Hellcats. We were actually just having this conversation at lunch. So,
I don't think the aftermarket can handle what Eaton's capable of doing if they wanted to say screw everyone else in the industry.
yeah, there is that. There is that. Eaton's busy making a lot of stuff. There is that.
Trust me, no one else in the aftermarket supercharger industry has the financial resources that Eaton does.
Yeah, there is that. That would be like Bosch getting pissed off and you know what I mean? It's the same
Exactly.
level. So that being said, the Hellcat, God, how could I phrase this? I can't talk about it. The Hellcat market has not seen the last of the TVS. Let's put it that. How's that, Joe? Does that work?
There we go. There we go.
How's that?
How you like that?
How you like them apples? Sliced or peeled?
Ooh.
Slabcheck says, I'm all about that pushrod MSD life.
See? With that 6AL in the glove box. I'm telling you.
Gen 2 Illuminator, all supporting mods for twin 465 return style, VMP Gen 3R on E85. What injectors and pulley do you recommend?
What pulley combo did he say? Or was he just asking me to give him a pulley and injector combo?
He's asking you, what injectors and pulley do you recommend?
What power do you want to make?
Yes.
Exactly a 5mm pulley.
10 millimeter, so you can lose it.
You'll never find the pulley again
Right.
if it's 10mm.
We actually make 10 millimeters, but we can never find them to sell.
Exactly. They never make it here from manufacturer.
From the manufacturer. A grip tech 10 millimeter would be interesting.
That'd be real interesting.
John Littlepage says, "Hey guys."
Hola.
We never answered his question. 10 stock motor? Did he say stock motor?
I'm talking about the Gen 3 guy with
Yeah,
what
did we?
pulley and fuel system.
Yeah.
I asked him what power he wants to make. Because he asked me
And
what
then whether
pulley
it's a
and
built
injector.
motor, yeah, and built motor or not built motor.
Yeah.
1050s will take you to 800. How's that?
Yeah. 1300s will take you to about 1150, 1200
Yeah, we know that
on
one.
E85.
We know that one.
And then you'll need more to go from there.
We ran slab out of injector on Trap and Track Attack.
Yeah.
Bry2K TV says, "I saw the VMP fuel system, great idea, so I bought fittings and utilized my steel line as a return, one less hose under the car."
Yep.
A lot of people have done that. It does work. It's extra work, but it works well.
Mm-hmm.
My friend's Mach 1 was tuned by another company. All he has is a cold air and muffler deletes. And on the Noctune, he had no cell light. But now that he's tuned, his light is on, and it's for a cat threshold. Do you guys know why it's doing this? Bad tuning, or did the cats go bad?
It's probably
So
the catch.
chances are the light was off for catalyst efficiency before, and now that he's gotten a tune from someone else, the
light is
ability
now
for the
back
light
on,
to
yeah.
come on is turned on.
Yeah, I'm gonna venture to say he had some kind of tune in there that he didn't realize that had them off, and now it has a different tune in it which has them on, and it's now throwing the code.
Yep.
Probably what's going on.
Ryan Reeves says, "Looking forward to receiving my updated Whipple 170 throttle body tune." He says, "Keep up the good work, guys and gals."
Thank you, sir.
Travis Dean says, "BC Racing coilovers. I believe you guys are a dealer of those as well."
I don't know if we still are. But if
I
someone's
think-
looking for coilovers for a 17 Mustang, I have good experience with the Roush coilovers. They ride great, therefore I'd recommend those.
I have no experience whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. It rides good.
Alpha Matter says P219A code was from an 11 GT. I do have VMP tune on it now. Just wondering why it was throwing that code from when the other company tuned it before.
Yep.
Let's see here.
That Gen 3R though, just sitting there on its little pedestal.
I know,
looking
I've looked
you.
at it. I know. Just sad.
It's a sad rotorless Gen 3R case.
Well, actually, let's do this one. Can you run a single 3-inch exhaust system on a Coyote if it has no restrictions, such as mufflers, also has long tube headers?
Depends on the power you're trying to make, but a single 3-inch actually doesn't flow all that great. Ask the Camaro guys. I
It should
forget
get the job done naturally aspirated, and it'd
you'll
probably still get the job done with a blower and a mild setup.
Yeah, there's still flow limitations for sure.
Yep.
Especially the number of bends, what kind of bends, stuff like that.
Are they 90s? Are they 45s? Are they 180s?
It's probably going to start being an issue. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably going to start being an issue in the 500-600 horsepower range, probably. And not
I'd say
an
it wouldn't even
issue,
necessarily
but
be an issue, but if you're actually measuring back pressure, you'd
Yeah.
probably start seeing it going up at that point.
yeah, for sure.
The person who was asking about what injectors and pulley do you recommend for the Gen 3R,
Yes.
1,000 wheel horsepower illuminator is not sleeved.
Oh, so he's going to want 1300s.
Yeah, 1300s are going to be a good idea.
And what pulley?
Pulley, probably like a 75 or a 72 millimeter pulley.
Stock
As long as
lower?
you got adequate supporting mods for it.
Stock lower?
Stock lower pulley, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure all the bases are covered.
Yep. I mean, the stock lower only changes what upper you go with. 5% add a pulley size up top. 10% add 2 pulley sizes. 15% add 3 pulley sizes.
Would a 10 GT 500 not be equally receptive to a tune when compared to an 11 to 14 GT 500? Why leave out 10 when speaking of 11 to 14?
Because the person, if I recall correctly, specifically asked for 11 to 14.
Yeah, I don't think there's... But to answer the other questions, they're about the same.
Yeah.
There's not...
Effectively the same engine, just iron instead of aluminum and shitty knock sensors and no widebands.
Correct. but they respond the same way to tunes. Or, yeah, to
Similar ways.
similar ways, yes.
Yep, yep.
David Neal says, should a 5.8 get OP and C gears? And if so, at what power point?
Just
Stock.
build it.
It should come from the factory that way. The Illuminator does.
Yeah, gets upgraded oil pump gears. I don't think the crank sprocket's any different than a factory
No.
crank sprocket. But,
But that tells you something, though.
Yeah.
This is similar to earlier. Will either the Gen 2 or Gen 3 3R fit on a GT350? If not, are there any plans for a GT350 version?
It will fit.
Deferred to my previous answer.
As per our previous correspondence, it will
And any recommendations on vertical links for a 15 to 17 GT?
The stock ones.
vertical link. On the back?
Are you guys interested in making a return fuel system for the second and third gen Coyote F-150s?
I think we're interested, but we're not that interested. Maybe if we started selling more blower kits for those, we would be.
What about the Ghost Cam for second gen Coyotes?
What about it?
It is in line next to the Ghost blower.
Mm-hmm.
Excited to see the 1819 VMP TBS come out. It'll be a game changer. Wonder how it will be compared to Edelbrock.
Pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet. Yeah. It, yeah.
Whee!
Any performance upgrades on an 18 Roush Mustang?
Yeah, tons of them. Everyone
Start
in the
with the tune.
aftermarket basically makes a part.
Start with a tune. They work well.
Anything? Oh, sorry.
I say start with a tune. It works well. Joe and I got that ironed out.
Facts.
Anything new for the 1819 GT?
Pick up a Summit catalog and find out.
Hey.
So,
No, as far as from us, I don't think we got anything.
I mean, we got blowers coming in a few months, but we haven't really played with anything else on them.
We got some kick-ass NA stuff in the meantime.
Yeah.
Ian, who was asking about whether the Gen 2 or Gen 3 3R will fit on a GT350, wasn't on earlier, so didn't hear the previous answer.
That's okay.
10-4.
We understand.
It's
We
in there.
don't hate you.
So he's asking you.
Oh,
Oh, and it fits.
yeah. Do it.
Yep, it'll fit.
Cut a hole in your hood.
Make it
It'll work
happen.
Just fine.
It just won't clear the hood, but you can figure that out on your own.
Tobio says, so do you recommend 4-inch single exhaust system? It's limited on space under there for duals, so I'm trying to stay single. It's on an F-150.
I have dual 3-inch. Fits just fine.
And with that
But either
said-
way, a single 4 would obviously be better than a single 3.
Yeah.
With that said, it's at 229, and we are pretty well caught up.
Nice. We had some good questions today.
Johnson 50 said that we need to get you some chocolate milk.
We do? I think we need to change the questions.
We had some good questions today.
I know we did. We covered them quickly,
actually,
though.
We actually had some good ones today.
We hammered
we
through
got
them.
into some old dinosaur pushrod stuff.
Old dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I'll
Ian
tell you what,
Guthrie.
Roush Yates D3 is where it's at, dog.
Ian, who did
Yeah.
not see the answer earlier, came back and said thanks.
Sweet.
I mean, any head that flows like 400 CFM, I don't care what it is, it's going to make power.
This is true. This is very true.
And plus, they got them they got them cubic inch things.
Yeah, well, I think they're what, 358s?
I don't know.
Roush
I
Yates
just-
D3 should be
Oh,
358s as regulated
I
by
thought you were talking
NASCAR.
about- yeah. I think you were talking about the C3s, the drag stuff.
No, the D3 with them Roush
They do make, like,
proprietary
8
cylinder heads with
they make like
half-inch
8
flanges.
Again, when I was in college, so this was years and years and years ago, but that was the last time I paid any attention to NASCAR. You're talking, it was a 360 cubic inch was the cubic inch limit. So it was a 360 cubic inch motor with a hydraulic flat tappet camshaft that would make 800 on the engine dyno.
Yep. That's what I'm talking
With
about.
lots of limitations, like
Yep.
rules on everything.
Yep.
So, and one thing being a hydraulic flat tappet being one of them. I remember the instructors.
Would you prefer solid roller?
Well, if you went to it, the instructor basically said there's probably 100 horsepower just the fact that in going to a solid roller and a camshaft change,
Yeah.
So it's just they got to play by the rules.
Your recommendation on vertical links was stock, was it not?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I like
what do
how
you have
quiet
from-
they are.
Oh, but there's decent aftermarket ones.
There is, absolutely. UPR and BMR both
Say
make them.
UPR and BMR.
I find that most people that install vertical links aren't at the point where they actually need them, though.
Probably not.
He came back and said curious for possible near future mods.
Sweet.
You're just gonna get some extra noise from a solid one, as you know, but it helps. So I like UPR.
But it does
I like
hail.
VMware. It does hail.
It does help.
Boy, talking about that guy came out of nowhere, huh?
I don't think so. He's been doing videos for a long time.
Really? I
It's
just
just
saw
like
the very
that-
first one.
That one went really viral
Yeah, it
in
did.
our industry.
Yes.
So,
that's
like-
true.
That's kind of like how that you have those weird YouTubers that we've never even heard of, but like everyone else is like, oh yeah, him. It's just irrelevant
Pretty
to
much
us.
my kids do that. It's
not our niche.
My kids do it to me on a weekly basis.
Like what's that guy's name? He lost his monetization.
PewDiePie.
There we go.
Yeah.
Him. Like everyone's had heard of him. I had never heard of him,
I hadn't
but
heard of him.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of him until we were talking about the top grossing YouTube people. Remember it? And you were like, "Oh, PewDiePie's on there," and I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah, it's crazy. Celebrities. But yeah, next week, we'll do the thing. We'll answer your questions. Roughly around 1:30, maybe 1:35, maybe 1:38, maybe 1:25.
We're usually on time.
Yeah.
We're usually really close.
I have 2 more questions that came in. Do you want
Ooh,
them?
send it.
Sure, send it.
If I put an 18 F-150 manifold on my 14 F-150, do you want to review my data logs? Janssen 50.
Sure.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind it. Preferably with some before and after dynos too,
Ba, 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 ba.
to go with said data log.
I'll tell you what, you wait a couple weeks, we'll have data for you. And you won't even have to wait for it.
So how to remove the header code catless permanently?
Header code catless permanently. So he's talking about how to remove the P0420, P0430 code. You do illegal stuff.
That we cannot recommend.
Yep.
And I love our regulars. Jay in Texas says, and don't forget, like and share before you go.
Yeah,
It does
exactly.
help. It does help.
Share it.
We need
everywhere.
to get more people because they can't watch it anymore. So we're down a person.
Yep.
Travis says next week you two should do a gallon of milk challenge.
That was done
You
here.
gotta
Joe,
show that.
Joe
They
paid
want the
price
gallon
on
milk
that.
challenge. I
Joe-
paid no price.
Oh, that's right. Jesse paid the
Jesse
price.
paid the price.
He was not conditioned
I
to the
just
milk.
I just didn't feel good for the rest of the day.
You probably should.
I probably should
I was
have
gonna
solved
say,
that. I just didn't feel right for like 4 hours.
I was gonna say, Jesse threw up and then felt fine. You suffered.
You ruined it. Now they know what happened.
Well, you already had said that you did well and Jesse didn't.
Yeah, but they don't know what happened. But yeah, we've done it. It'll come out soon.
But see, I'm a huge milk drinker, way above and beyond Jesse. So I feel like you're the reigning champion. I need to challenge you someday.
Joe, get
possible.
with Travis. He's talking about a chump car. He has plans.
You tell me.
I love me some
Send
chump car
Bob's.
racing.
He says interested in going in with me and some other drivers for a chump car.
I love me
have
some chump car
plans.
racing.
So get with Travis. With that said, let's wrap it up.
Ooh.
2:34.
2:34. We're sending it. See you guys next week.
That's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody kill the lights.
We got to do like the noises from Grandma's Boy. The crazy weird guy that likes doing electronic noises and sounding like a robot.
I don't know that part.
Oh man.
Sorry,
Does
Joe.
anyone else got me on this? Grandma's Boy, crazy guy, robots, likes the Matrix.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, see, they know.
I don't know the
You're
noises.
terrible.
I don't know the noise.
Sorry.
Like when he does his little dance and he's making robot noises. All right, I'll show you guys later.
That's fine. I'm gonna go fight.
Bye, guys.
I'm gonna go fight Chris over the blower.